Hello, everybody. My name is Ashley. This is Faithful Rattos, and welcome back. So, in today's video, we have a little bit of a vlog situation. I purchased this little doohickey off TikTok shop. It is, as you can see, a microphone, and I'm hoping that it will make my videos sound better. And what I'm going to attempt to do today is I'm making mix, and I'm going to attempt to make like a little ASMR segment with this microphone making mix because I think it will make the sounds better. So we shall see how that works. I will say we have some exciting things happening this week. First of all, got my nails done. Not rat related, but they're really pretty. I really like them. So there's that. And the second thing is we have health checks for our new rats on Friday. So that will be Cheeky and my new foundation girls. And there's a rat show on Saturday, which is going to be really exciting. I am scribing, I think, but it will be my first time getting to show my foundations, and I'm really excited to see feedback on them, to see what the people think of them. Obviously, namely the judge. And I'm taking Kiryu and Grover. Kiryu's going to go in pets because of his scar, but Grover can now go in varieties because Tonk now has a provisional standard thanks to a lot of the hard work of the Tonk breeders. So that is Rainmaker, Galactic, and Curio. They've been doing some really great work with the Tonks, so they now have a standard, which is really exciting. And yeah, I think that's all the update. That maybe will be what happens in this video. Who knows? I also will say there will probably be some updates on our girl Birdie. You may know her as her proper name, which is Nocturnal, but we know her as Birdie. She had a choking incident last night, and she was drooling and dribbling, and she looked pretty bad. This morning, I gave her a dose of steroid just to help with the inflammation and maybe make her a little bit comfortable, and it does seem to have worked. So we have avoided a vet visit today. Obviously, I'll be keeping my eye on her and checking her throughout the day, and if she does need to go to the vet, she'll go to the vet. But I would prefer not to take a very stressed rat. She's a very stressy when it comes to handling and moving and stuff. I would prefer not to have to take her to the vet. I will get my vet to check her over on Friday just in case, but she's doing okay now, thankfully. That was a worrying night. I may talk a little bit more about choking in the next bit of this video. Who knows? But yes, let's get into the ASMR portion of this video. I'm toying with the idea of doing an ASMR video with rat noises because we've got things like running on the wheel, water bottles, making mix, them eating, that I think would be really good noises for ASMR. So anyway, even though I hate ASMR, so I find that really funny. I hate ASMR, but people do obviously like it. Hello again. So I hope that little ASMR segment was enjoyable for those who like ASMR. And if you skip past it, I do not hold a grudge at all because I also hate ASMR. But the ASMR that I kind of hate is the ASMR with all the speaking and the throat noises. Anyway, today I am going to sit down and edit this week's video. So this is the video you saw last week, the video that I filmed actually quite a long time ago now, the differences between does and bucks. Today is an exciting one, so I have to prep for the show tomorrow, which is really exciting because the show sec just texted me this morning to say that there's over 100 entries and varieties, so I am going to be a busy girl, so I don't know how much footage I'm going to be able to get. I'm going to try and get some of the rats as they're being judged and things like that, but I am also scribing, so probably won't be able to get that much footage, which is fine. There's other things in this vlog. Today, also Adele, our mobile vet, is coming over, which is really exciting. I like it when she comes over just for health checks because it means there's not actually anything pressing wrong, which is good news. She's coming to check the new girls, so our babies, the new foundation does, hopefully. They're getting their health check. This just means that if anything does come up legally, she is allowed to help us out without having to come over, which is helpful. And also Cheeky. And I'm really excited to see how Cheeky is doing. She is 19 months old now, but she has lost the weight that she came here with that was a bit too heavy for her, which is about 100 grams worth of weight that she's lost now. Probably a little bit more since the last time I weighed her, but she was quite overweight. So just a quick update on Birdie, because I don't think I've updated you since I said that she was struggling. And then by yesterday morning, she was doing a lot better. I did give her a dose of steroid today, just for the weaning off kind of steroid. You don't want to give them cold turkey or steroid. So I gave her one more dose this morning. She seems to be doing fine. This is kind of what happened with Remy, is that sometimes after they have a choking incident, they are just really tired. Their throat is sore, their throat is inflamed, and they're just in pain. And so they're, they don't do too hot for a day or so, and this can happen. And what also can happen after a choke is they can get a respiratory infection or they could get aspiration pneumonia. So the respiratory infection generally is due to irritation and inflammation and just feeling a bit run down, so the respiratory symptoms flare up. And then pneumonia is aspiration pneumonia in most cases, which means that they have, when they're in the regurgitation, getting it out of their throat process, a little bit of food gets down into the lungs and causes pneumonia that way. So you do need to be very careful after a choking incident. Not so much one where they clear it in like a couple of minutes. Those ones are normally fine and those ones are pretty common. But when they've been going for a couple of hours and they are kind of sore and after, it's definitely something you want to check out. So I'm going to have Adele listen to Birdie's chest just to be on the safe side while she's here. I don't have any worries about her right now, but I'd rather get ahead of it and see if there is anything going on in her chest. Probably isn't, but it can happen, and I'd rather be safe than sorry while Adele is here as well. So yeah, that's what's happening today. Then I also have to get ready for the show, so I have to set up the tags, the bags that I'm going to carry them in, cut up the cucumber, all that jazz. So yeah, I'm going to be a busy bee with the rat stuff today, and there's something else I'm going to show you later that I did yesterday that I kind of, I don't know. I don't think it's for everyone, and that's why I didn't mention it yesterday, but I think I will mention it. Okay? Yeah, see you later. So Adele has just gone. The vet visit went wonderfully. There's no concerns with anybody. Not even Birdie, who had the choking incident, obviously. She sounded perfect in her chest, so that's really good news. I have Cheeky, who Adele absolutely loved. How could you not love her? And I am bringing Cheeky to the show tomorrow, and Adele said that Nikki, who is one of her vet nurses who's going to be the judge, will probably like her a lot. So I'm really excited about that and seeing how she does, because she's just such a lovely, lovely girl. And there's not generally too many adult dome veterans there, so maybe she has a good shot with that. The babies were all perfect in terms of health. Adele did try to steal them though, which I wasn't impressed with. I think I should make a complaint against my vet in regards to that, because vets shouldn't be stealing pets off you. She did check on Tiffin. He's on meds for an ear infection still. There's still infection there, so I'm going to keep going with the medicine. And yeah, that was the visit. It wasn't very expensive because it was just the visit fee. So that was really nice. I enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, I've got to go and get ready for the show and eat my dinner and stuff. So I'll see you later. So yesterday, I did something that was very exciting for me and sort of like emotional. So before I get into talking about that, I will say, if you don't want to hear a discussion about rats who have passed away or rat bones or see rat bones or anything like that, now is your time to skip on past this part of the video. I'm going to put a timestamp for when I've finished talking about this, if you don't want to, or you could just stop watching the video, that's also fine. I have on my balcony plant pots that I bury some of my rats in, and my freezer was getting a bit full with rats. I like to bury them in their sort of like family groups and things like that. So in there I had Cinna, Osiris, Latka and Maccabee. Now Cinna's brother that he came with is already out on the balcony, and Latka, Osiris and Maccabee, they're all brothers, so they were in there, and I decided that it was time for them to have a burial. So what I did was, I didn't want my whole balcony to be full of plant pots, and I do like making bone art and displaying that part of them. I think it's really, to me, it's very special that I get to look after their bones as I looked after their souls when they were here. So I removed the bulbs. I did replant the bulbs, so don't worry about that. I removed the bulbs, and we took out this, as much of the skeletons as we could, that we could find. Now, some of it was a bit tricky because it was a bit sludgy down there, and there was a lot of bugs, and it was a bit difficult. My hands were really cold because it's been quite cold outside, so the soil was like really, really cold. So it was quite a tough process emotionally, physically, with my hands being really cold. But I did manage to get all 5 of the boys' skulls who are in that plant pot. So Cade, Coram, Hester, Pullman and Piri, I have their skulls. I have most of the jawbones. I think it's just Cade that I could only find one of the jawbones, so the other jawbone is missing. So I'm going to be making a really nice bone display with their bones. I think it's fitting that they're there together because, you know, they were the boys that passed away during the outbreak. But what I did do is I kept their skulls separate, so they're all individual, and so I can label them with who they are. However, all the other bones that I managed to pull out, I separated out, and they're all mixed up, and they're in this tub. I am in the process of whitening them. Some of them have whitened a lot better than others, so I'm going to do a second round. So these are both scapulars. Now, because they're mixed up, I don't know whose is whose, but these are both actually scapulars from the same side of the body. This one is not as white as this one has. This one has whitened up really well. There's still little bits that aren't super white, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this new big bottle of peroxide to whiten them a little bit more. There are some that have whitened up quite well. So this is part of a spinal cord. Not spinal cord. This is part of the spinal column. This one's whitened up pretty well, but you can see that this one, which is the same bone, didn't. I think I'm going to just make sure there's no debris left on any of these, but there's a variety of different bones that I managed to get that are different sizes. I think this is an arm. I think this is the top of the arm. I've got some scapulars, definitely some leg or arm bones. I think this is part of the pelvis, this one. I got quite a few of these ones because these are some of the bigger ones. I did get a couple of ribs and quite a lot of parts of the spinal column. So this is part of the spinal column. And I did also get some of the tailbones, which are very interesting. So you can see that they are a similar shape to the spinal column bones, but they're just much smaller and elongated. So I did get quite a nice variety, and a different sizes as well. So I think I'm gonna have a pretty nice display. But yeah, I'm gonna go clean these up, and I might show the skulls later on. Good merry morning. I have decided to skip one leg of my train journey by getting a taxi to the second station rather than the first one, because it's not that much more expensive, and I only had like 5 minutes to change trains, and I don't know that station very well, and I'm carrying 7 rats with me, so that was just way too stressful. The way home should be fine. I checked the timings are a little bit longer, so that should be fine. But we are off. I'll show you who I've brought. So in here we have our 3 babies, they're communicating here, and Kiryu and Grover, and then underneath we have Cheeky and Mara. So it is, yes, it's quite a big bag, so that's why I don't want to be rushing through a station. But yeah, we're really excited to go. Hello, welcome to the last clip of this vlog. I filmed a 11-minute clip with the mic turned off, so it has literally 0 sound. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try and do it quicker because this video is already long. I know it. So I'm going to go over my results from the show yesterday. I had a really good day. It was so busy. There was almost 100 entries in varieties, and so I was really busy, so I didn't get too much footage, but I hope it's enough for a short little montage. I did get some videos of the tables of the small businesses, and I put their names on the screen if you're interested in shopping from them. But yes, I'm going to quickly go through my entries and tell you how I did, because I think it's really... So I put Kiryu in pets. He didn't place. He did get a nice little critique though, which I've got here. But the main reason why I brought him along is because I wanted to get a second opinion from another judge about him and his type. Now, he can't really go in varieties at the moment because his fur just isn't... It's mostly grown back now, but it doesn't look right. Kind of. So I think in varieties he wouldn't do very well. So I didn't put him in varieties. I had him in pets instead. But I did ask the judge what she thought of him, and she thought that he was a really nice, solid type book. His head and eye was good, and his ear were good, and his shading was good, and she was really happy to see a red-eye Siamese. At the moment, Siamese is a rare variety in the UK, which is absolutely crazy, because once you can walk for the amount of Siamese that there were. So rare variety just means that it was shown less than, I think, 9 times in the previous year, which is crazy to think about, really. There are quite a few people who have Siamese, but some of those people are breeding Blue Point Siamese, which is obviously a different variety. And then the one person I'm thinking of that does breed Siamese also breeds it in Dumbo and Rex. So a lot of their entries go in shaded Dumbo or Rex Dumbo. So they make it so that it is a rare variety, which is crazy. So she was really happy to hear that I was planning to breed from him, and especially because he has red eyes, to keep the red eye gene going in the Siamese, because it's quite easy to lose if you're breeding them with Burms to get the black-eyed Siamese. So then I entered Cheeky and Pets, and she won this little red rosette. She didn't place, but she did get a special for Sleeping Beauty. Apparently she was more interested in her napping than the judge. We'll forgive her for that, because it is a tiring, long day. But I do really like to get specials, because it means that the judge has thought about your rat and thinks it's special and stand out and wants to give it a special extra rosette. Then I did enter Mara in Marked Dumbo. Now, she came 4th out of 4. I wasn't really expecting anything great from her, but that's not why I entered her. I entered her because I wanted to confirm to myself that I do have a good eye for type, and I can see that in rats, and in my own rats especially, because I can see it in other rats, but I kind of worry that I have like a bias with my own rats. So, and that's something that like can happen, and it's called shed blindness, and I really don't want to have that. So I ended her so I could sort of be sure that my eye for type is as good as I think it is, and she did get a good comment on her head and eye, so I think I'm correct on that. And because she's not too bothered about showing, I just thought I'd bring her once just to confirm my own thoughts about her, and then I can sort of pat myself on the back and be like, you do have a good eye, like, just keep going, like, it's fine, like, I don't second guess yourself, actually. Then I had Grover in provisional standards, so it's really exciting now. Tonkinese now has 2 standards, an Agouti version and a self version, so they're in provisional because it's brand new, thanks to the hard work of the people who breed Tonk. So I put Grover in merely to boost the numbers. I think he's a pretty solid, good rat. He's not as bucky as I would say Kiryu is. His head is a bit narrow, I think, for his body, but maybe he'll grow into it. And he came 3rd in provisional standard. There was 6. His sister came 1st, and I think there was a bareback that came 2nd, and then he came 3rd. Tonkinese Agouti fared a little bit better than the self version of the Tonkinese did, but yeah, they got a nice critique, and he got 3rd place. Now it's down to my foundations, and they did it really well. I was so proud of them. Now, I didn't get any big wins with them, but that's okay. They're only 10 weeks old. So, starting off with Sophonax, my Wheaton, she got 1st Wheaton kitten, 1st shaded kitten, and 3rd shaded overall. So that was out of 14 shaded rats. She came 3rd as a little baby. So I think she did really well. She got a lovely critique, if you're interested in reading it. She got the best critique out of the 3 girls, obviously, because she came in the challenge and the others who didn't. But yeah, it was so, I'm so happy about this, because I knew they were lovely girls. I knew they were really pretty and had good type. But to have that confirmed, and that the judge was excited to hear afterwards that I'm going to breed from them, it was really nice. Now, the 2 Smeezies, they didn't do as well as Sophonax did. They did do pretty well, and as you can see, somebody won the Siamese Rosette. Sophonax didn't win the Wheaton Rosette, and that is only because the Wheaton adult there was a Wheaton adult that was entered, and she placed higher in the challenge, so she obviously got the Wheaton Rosette. Marissa came 1st Siamese kitten and 2nd shaded kitten. She got a really nice critique too. The thing with the Siamese is they need to get their shading in a little bit more for them to be more to standard. She and Serafina got a critique about having fairly good head, and I think that's because it's a little bit narrow at the moment, so it's something to watch, but not such a big deal. They all have really nice eye and ear. I know that they're gorgeous. And then Serafina got 2nd Siamese kitten and 3rd shaded kitten. So yes, they did really well. They got lovely critiques, and I spoke with the judge after the period of anonymity is over, and she was really happy to see that I'll be breeding shaded, especially the Siamese, because it is a rare variety now, which is crazy to me and really, really sad. And yeah, that is my whole clip. I'm going to go because I don't want this video to be any longer, because I know that I had some pretty hefty, chonky clips here. And at the show yesterday, there was one person who came to say hi and said that they liked to watch my videos. And if that was you, sir, thank you very much. I really appreciated you doing that. I was a bit awkward because I was a bit flustered from describing, and I also am a bit of an awkward person, so apologies for that. And also, somebody from my waiting list tried to say hi to me, and I was too busy to talk to them, and I was so sad about it. But it was really nice to see them there as well. And if you are ever at a show and I am there, please do say hi. Obviously, if I'm behind the bench and helping the judge or judging or whatnot, do try and catch me in my break or something like that. But yes, please do say hi. I really do like to talk to people who like rats. So yeah, that is it. Please do leave me any comments if you have anything to say, and subscribe, like, all the things. You can even become a channel member if you want. I feel really awkward saying that, but I know I need to push it if I want anyone to join. I have lots of different tiers at different price points, so there is something for everyone if you do want to join. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!